Hi, this is Kevin Trainer. Welcome to my tutorial on how to use the service desk for this course. I'm recording this in January 2023 for the spring 2023 semester. And I'm expecting this to have a pretty long life, so long as we're using the same product for this function. Even if I move the server around, it's just going to change where certain links are pointing to. So um, as I go through the tutorial, if there's something that might change, I'll point that out. Okay? So let's go and look at the agenda. So here are the items we're going to cover. Uh, what do we mean when we say service desk? Uh, why are we using one? Um, how do we find the one that we're going to use for the course that you're in? Um, to use one, you're going to need an account on a Jira server. So how do you create an account on that Jira server? Um, we create these things on the service desk that we call tickets. That's the way that we manage the issues that we're going to be giving you help on. Okay. So how do you open or create a new ticket? How do you understand the ticket workflow? Because you're going to be going back and forth um, with me, with the TA, with maybe a grader in the course. So it's best that you understand the workflow. Uh, while you're in that workflow, how do you respond to a post that somebody else made on your ticket? Okay. Well, you'll be doing that by working in the service desk portal. So, what's that like, and how do you work there? Um, Somewhere along the way, you're going to lose your password. So, how do you recover from that? Um, what if you're trying to get started, or you've been started for a while, and all of a sudden you're stuck. You have a total meltdown. Well, I've got some ideas for that. And one thing that we want you to do before you begin the course or get too far along in the first 2 weeks of the course, we want you to use this service desk to make a greetings post. And I'm going to show you how to do that before we wrap up. So, what is a service desk? Well, uh, it's just a fancy name for an issue tracking system. Okay, well, that kind of begs the question, what's an issue tracking system? Well, let's go to the Wikipedia article on issue tracking system, and I'm going to pull that on here. Okay, so it turns out that issue tracking systems have been used for quite a while by mainly by IT support people, but by other support kinds of people, customer service agents, those kinds of people, um, to to help customers or patrons, or in this case, students, with problems or issues that they may have. Okay. And these are called a lot of different things. The general category is called issue tracking systems, but some people call them trouble ticket systems, support ticket systems, request management systems, incident ticket systems, a whole lot of different names. It turns out that the vendor who produces software that we're going to use calls each of these things a service desk. So that's the term that we're going to use. Okay. And in terms of the main item of information that these things track, okay, each transaction on the system, Uh, some people call them issues. Some people call them requests. One really popular name that's been used since the very beginning is ticket. And that's probably the name that was used for this kind of activity even before it was automated. You know, somebody would write up a ticket, which was a piece of paper or cardboard in which you described the problem, and that was used to track whatever it was. So in our course, we're going to refer to these as tickets. It's kind of old school, but um, that's what we're going to do. So the software that we're going to be using is called Jira Service Management, and it's from a company called Atlassian. Um, and if you want to know more about the Jira Service Management product, you can follow that link and go find out some more. Although, to use it, you can just keep playing the video that you're playing. Okay. Um, as I mentioned before, in this product, uh, each project that serves a particular group of users is called a service desk project. So that's the term that I use. I've created a separate service desk project for each course section that I am teaching. Okay. So we're going to show you how to find your way to the one for the section that you're in. Uh, Atlassian, the vendor who created the software, they refer to the items that we create on the system alternately as requests or issues. Okay, and they do it kind of interchangeably. Uh, we're going to call them tickets. Okay, so let's go on to our next slide here. So why are we using this at all? Why not just use email? Well, I've been using a system like this for, I don't know the exact number of years, more than 5, less than 10. And the problem they had is that email from students who wanted to get help got lost in my inbox. And email gets lost in my inbox every day. I get hundreds of emails a day. And the problem gets worse, not better. So that was a major thing that drove me to this kind of solution. The other problem that I've had is that student emails are often unclear about all the essential information. Sometimes they'll come from an email account that doesn't even have the student's full name associated with it. So I don't understand what their name is. For a long time, I taught courses at 2 universities. So unless it was a university email account, I wasn't even sure which university they were from. Sometimes they wouldn't mention the course, and very often they would not mention the section. So I couldn't find their way. I couldn't find my way to the student very easily. Now, in our service desk solution that we're using, uh, once you're using the service desk project for your course and you're properly signed up and identified to the server, I know who you are, I know what university you're in, I know what course you're taking, what section you're in. It makes it a whole lot easier. Um, Another feature that these kinds of systems typically have, and ours does, is that there's a group of people who can manage and respond to the tickets, and they can do it interchangeably and or in collaboration. So the people who are going to respond to tickets in our case are me, the instructor, and the TA, and sometimes a grader. Okay, and so you might get an answer back from one of us, or we may hand it around just to get you the full answer that you need. Okay. Um, and probably the most important feature from your perspective is that the tickets remain open until someone closes them. We try to leave them for you to close, um, because we want to make sure that you're satisfied that we've helped you before we close them. Historically, students have been pretty bad at closing tickets. One of the things I want to do in this tutorial is to encourage you to close your tickets when you're satisfied so that we don't have to close them for you or don't have to assume that you're done when maybe you're not done. So, how do you find your way to the right service desk for this course? Well, there are three places you can go to find your way there. Okay. There's a service uh, uh, desk introduction web page, which I have a link to here. And before I go there, I just want to say that you can download a copy of these slides from wherever you found the link to go to this video. There should be a link right next to it that from which you can download the slides. And if the URL should change um, for this introduction page, well, I will update the slides. So when you click on whatever link is available today, well, it's going to go to the right place. So here's the service desk introduction page. Okay, and I welcome you to read the introduction. It's kind of duplicates things I've already said. But at the bottom, uh, here is a list of the service desk projects for the courses I'm currently teaching. So again, I'm recording this in the beginning of the spring 2023 semester. I'm teaching 4 sections. I'm teaching 3 sections of IS 430, an A section, a B section, an O section, and 1 section of IS 49 and O section. Okay. There's also links to a service desk projects in which I work with current and former students on recommendations that they would like me to write for them. And there's another category for people who just got some other issue that doesn't relate to any of those other links. Okay, so that's the first place that you can go. Okay, what's the second one? Well, on the Canvas homepage for our course, you'll find a heading for Contact Us. And if you click through on that page on Canvas, you'll find a link called Service Desk for this course. And it'll take you to the right one for the course that we're in. Same thing for the syllabus. If you find your way to the syllabus includes a link that's going to take you to the service desk for this course. You'll find it under a heading that says contacting instructor or TA, or if you're in a course that also has graders, it may say contacting instructor or course assistants. Some kind of a heading like that, and you can find it. So there are 3 ways to find your way to the right place. Okay. So when you click on that link, what happens? Okay. Well, not much because you go to a login page. Okay. And here's where I'm going to start to have a kind of a training example. Okay, so I'm going to, while I'm working, I'm going to pretend to be a student called iSchool Student 61820. That's the zip code of the iSchool. And this particular student has an email account at Gmail. Um, I want you to use your university email account, and I would use that, but I've already used that in the system, so I can't use it as my training example. Okay, so I don't want you to use the Gmail account, even though I am. And I've cleared out all the email here because I want to be able to show you the back and forth that happens with the server as we work with the Jira service desk. Okay. Okay. So, um, so the first thing we do is that we follow the links provided to the service desk portal for this course. So, you know, the web page, the group of web pages associated with our service desk is referred to as the portal. Okay. So we're going to follow our way there and we're going to sign up for an account link. All right. So we're going to do that. Well, I'm just going to go back one page and I'm going to find my way to that service desk introduction page. And I'm going to pretend that I'm in the current semester A section of IS 430. And it takes me to the portal. And because I'm not logged in, it gives me a login page. Now, there are some people who have probably already had a course with me, okay? And if you're already known on this server because you were in another course and used the service desk for that, well, you can use the same username and password that you use for that and just log in. For most of you, this is going to be the first course that you've had with me where you're going to be doing this. So you need to sign up for an account. So we have a link here, sign up for an account. So let's click on that. So what does it want? It wants us to give it the email. It wants us to choose a password, and it wants us to give the full name. Okay. Well, now I've already created this information here, so I'll get it correct. So that's the email I'm going to use. Again, you use your Illinois University email address. Okay, and then I'm going to pick a password that I've already recorded in my password management app. Okay, and I'm going to say that this is a student, one of my fictional student names that I've used for a long time is Jane Scholar. Okay, and we're going to click on sign up. Okay, and here it takes us to the top page that we get in the portal. And I'm not going to save the password because it's already saved in my project, in my password manager. Okay. Now I'm wondering if I've already gotten a welcome email. Let's just take a look. Oh, here we are, back here. Did I get a welcome email yet? Well, I don't see one, and since I don't use this email client a lot, I don't know. I'll just do a refresh. Well, not yet. Okay. But I'm logged in. Okay. I'm properly logged in. So I'm going to remember my user ID and my password. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to what we're trying to do. Okay, So what did we do? Well, we signed up for the account. We'll pretend we used our full university email address. We'll get a confirmation email from the server. But as you can see, it didn't show up right away. We don't need it in order to be able to log in, so that's okay. When prompted to enter our name, we entered full name first and last. Use the same one that you're using on Canvas, okay? And we're going to be logged in and taken to the portal page for the service desk. And that's where we are. Okay. Okay. How do we open a new ticket? Okay. Well, we use that page that we came to. So let's look at the instructions I have here. Now, you can use these slides as job aids or cheat sheets for later on when you forget how to do stuff. Okay. So when you need help on a new issue, use the service desk portal to open a new ticket, open or create a new ticket. Do not open duplicate tickets. I've had a problem over the years that students who are not good at using the portal, they'll log in, they can't find their ticket, so they'll create another one. Now, I'm going to put a little more effort onto helping you learn how to navigate the portal. So you should be able to find your way to tickets that you already have in there. Um, it's a menace when people create duplicate tickets. So please don't do that. We're going to fill out the form. It says we need to fill out the summary, the description, attachments. Um, we also have to pick our request type. I don't have that on the list here, but we're going to do that. And then we're going to click create, and our newly created ticket is going to be displayed. So let's go over and get working on that. So again, I'm logged in, all right. Again, if I want to know who I am, I can go up to the upper right hand corner and click on my avatar and go to my profile. And you can see that I'm Jane Scholar. And we have these things here. What if I wanted to change my password or edit my profile? Well, there's a link right here. So if I go to my profile, I could change my password all by myself. But please write it down. Okay, so let's back up. Okay, we're back to the portal page. Okay, so one of the things that we've done is to create a list of these request or ticket types. And these are helpful to both you as a student and to us as the support people. If you accidentally to pick the wrong one, is it the end of the world? No. They're largely here to help you structure your thinking. Okay. Um, so what kind of problem do you have? Do you want to report a problem with the course infrastructure? Is there something wrong on the syllabus or the weekly schedule or the Canvas site? Do you just have a course question, some question about the course? Do you need help with the IT stuff that we're using in the course, like things like Anaconda or PyCharm Professional? Well, we can help you with that. If you have a more general IT question, just call the iSchool help desk. They're probably better able to help you. Do you need to request an individual meeting with me or the TA or a grader to talk something over? You would pick that one. Do you need a deadline extension? Well, click on deadline extension requests. Do you need to request an assignment regrading, either because we missed it or you've read the feedback and you're thinking that maybe we didn't see all that you had there and you want us to reconsider it, or if you've got some other issue at all. Okay. So let's say and if you read the text under each of these, there's a little bit of a prompt to remind you what to include. Okay. So let's say we have a course infrastructure problem report. Okay. And let's say uh, syllabus link is dead on weekly schedule. It happens. Okay, so that's the summary is the headline. The description is uh, a description. Okay, and you can write it as kind of a memo or email. Um, uh, so you could say or you could just have a description. So you could just say something like this. I just tried clicking on the link for the syllabus in week 1 of the weekly schedule. I got a 404 return code. Not found. Okay. Okay. Do I need to attach any files or screenshots or anything? Nope, I don't. Create. All right. That's it. Okay. So what we see here now is just the detailed view for the ticket that we're in. Okay. Now, let's just keep that there, and let's go back to the inbox. And as you can see, that we already have our greeting from the Jira server. Okay. Do we need to do anything with this? No, there's a button here to raise request. This would take you to the right portal, so we could click on that. And I'm going to refresh here and see if we got anything else. So let's go to the inbox. Now, so eventually you're going to see that you lodged a request here, that you opened a ticket. I think you'll get a confirmation on that. But again, they're a little bit slow. So again, don't think it's broken just because we haven't seen that yet. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you on pause for a second, and I'm going to go over and I'm going to respond to the ticket. Okay, so let me just find my pause. And here you go. Okay, we're back. So I've gone over to my other computer where I logged in as me. And the ID that I use on this is Prof Trainer. And so let's see the response. Now, we haven't updated the ticket, but if we refresh the ticket, we'll see there's a response, and it came from me. Now, I don't call myself Professor Trainer. I call myself Kevin, and you can call me Kevin too. But in the days when I was teaching at 2 universities, I needed a kind of a neutral third address to be using, and Prof Trainer got created. And it's been around for quite a while as a result. So things that come from me come from Prof Trainer. And Prof Trainer says, hi, Jane. Thanks for reporting this. I just fixed it. Please try it again. Post back here if you have further problems. Well, let's say I'm Jane and I go and I try it and it's fixed. Okay. So, okay. What could I do? Okay. The best thing to do is to resolve the issue. Okay. That's the way that we meaning the instructor and the TA and whoever has taken your ticket. These get assigned to people. When they arrive, they're unassigned, but when we take them over, each of us, when we decide to take one, we assign it to ourselves or we assign it to somebody else. Um, and then so whoever this is assigned to is going to watch it until it gets closed. And we often have the question, have they seen this? I don't want to close this before you've seen it, right? So when you're done, please go up here and click resolve this issue. And if you want to communicate back, you can really do both. You can both close it and say something like, uh, thanks, worked just fine. Resolve the issue. Okay? Alrighty. Okay. Now, we're on an issue that's resolved. Okay? And you can kind of see that. Oh, the status is right here. It's resolved. Okay. Now, uh, one of the things that we can do, and this is a kind of a good thing to do, is uh, uh, when you want a wider view of your tickets, which at this point would be called requests, you can go to the upper right and click on requests, and then click on my request. And it does a query and it shows you all the requests that have come from you that are open. Okay, and there aren't any right now. Okay, because we resolved it. Okay, so let's add a couple. Okay, well, how do we create a request if we're here? Remember when we came to the portal, we just dove right in. We went right to the page where we could create a request. Well, you would think that the way to do this would be come right here and to use the button called create a request. And that gets you halfway there, okay? You do get a list of the portals, okay? You'll get a list of the portals here with kind of an information card on each one. And it'll say popular. I still have the ones here from the fall, okay? And they're more popular than the ones from the spring because, well, they got a lot of use, okay? So you're going to have to go under all portals. You're going to have to change this to ascending. Okay. And I put enough underscores in front of the name that the ones for the spring are at the top of the list. Okay. And so, oh yeah, uh, I, Jane Scholar, am in the A section. So I click on the A section and that's how I get back to that form. Okay. And just to remind you, let's go back to where was I? Wherever I am, I'm always going to be able to go to in the upper right requests and then my requests. Okay, and I'm going to see them all here, but if I don't want those, if I want to create a new one, I'm going to click on create request. Okay, and I get an ascending list. And I pick the service desk for my course in section A. That's how I get there. I wish it were better, folks, but that's the way it currently is. Okay, so let's add a couple things. Okay, let's add a course IT help request. Okay, and course IT related help request. Okay. Okay, let's not do that. Here's a scenario. I'm not sure. Uh, we're having a question about a course in general or an assignment in particular. Okay, this is good. So let's say it's a course question, and I can't emphasize enough. If you pick the wrong category here, we can barely see the category that you picked. There's a way for us to see it, but the fact is, um, your request, your ticket is not going to get hidden because you picked the wrong one. So pick whatever, okay? This is here to help remind you what kind of things we're interested in, okay? So in this course question, okay, here's the next thing that I have. Say stuck on uh, chapter 3 assignment exercise 2. Okay, so you might say, I have been stuck on this exercise for over an hour. Can you help? Okay, and I just want to tell you, when you have a coding problem, whatever it is, upload almost all my coding courses. We're using PyCharm Professional. So when we each of our PyCharm Professional projects is a directory, okay, in the file system, or a folder in the file system, whatever you want to call it. And when we submit our project, we zip up that folder or directory and we submit that to Canvas. Uh, if you need help with your coding, do the same thing. Zip up the entire project that you were going to submit, even if it's not all there, uh, let's say that there were 4 exercises. You're only on 2, right? So you've got 1 in, you've got 2. You might be sort of inclined to send us a screenshot of exercise 2, or just the Python file for exercise 2. Don't get seduced into that, because it's very hard for us um, to figure out your problem that way. Take your PyCharm project, whatever state it's in, zip up the whole thing and upload it here. Okay? So what would that look like? Well, I'm just going to take a PyCharm project that I have. Okay? And in my case, I've got the solution to the chapter 3 exercises. It's right here. Okay. And what am I going to do? It's in a zip file. I'm just going to drag that over and drop it right here. Can you help? I have uploaded the zip file. Thanks. Okay. I could do something like that. Click create. Okay. So you'll see right there. Okay. And this happens to be named the way that we name our assignment project files in the IS 430 course. If you're in a different course, we probably would do it a different way. But again, it's going to be easiest to help you if you give us the code, or whatever it is. If you're working on a systems analysis course and you're working on a diagram, well, take the diagram and give us the diagram. Don't give us a screenshot of the diagram. Don't give us don't just try to describe it in words. Actually, give us the thing that you're stuck on, because here's what we'll do. We'll try to reproduce the problem, okay, and then we'll try to give you ideas about concrete things you can do in our response. Okay, so we could have one like that. All right, let's create another one. Okay, now I don't see where I can create another one. Oh, I know what I can do. See these little See these little breadcrumbs up here? Okay. This breadcrumb right here is for our portal page. I took us right back to the portal page. I thought they had gotten rid of that, but they didn't. Okay. So it was of course question, and let's have an other issue. Um, you might say something like this. Hmm, what might be? No, let's back up. Let's not make it another issue. Let's make it an individual meeting request. Uh, uh, Need to discuss my DRES accommodations. Okay, so I'm a person with DRES accommodations, and um, um, so and I need to discuss them. I'd like to send the yeah, a lot of times for DRES accommodations, there's a letter that you have to hand in, and you can send those by email. I think we usually can handle that volume of email, or you could upload them here. You could do that too. But if you needed to have specific discussions and they needed to be confidential, well, an individual meeting request would be the way to do it. Um, I would like to meet on Zoom. I am available all day Wednesday and on Friday afternoons. Okay, create. All right. Okay, so let's go and look at how they're doing in our a list of requests or a ticket. So upper right hand corner, click on requests, my requests, one line per. Okay. Now, here's something I didn't emphasize on the last one. Each ticket has a status. Okay. And the status is waiting for somebody. Okay. And uh, in the system, uh, students are called customer because we set this up as a customer support project. And the instructor and or TA and or greeter is called support. Okay. And at any given time, depending upon the last person who posted to the ticket, it's either waiting for support or it's waiting for customer. If it's waiting for customer, it's waiting for you. It's waiting for support, it's waiting for us. Okay? Now, you can interact with the ticket even if it's waiting for us. Like, for instance, um, stuck on. Let's look at this DRES accommodation. So this is an in-person class, okay, that meets on Tuesday. So again, how did we click on that? Well, there are two things that can act as a link, either the reference or the summary. Okay, so I clicked on the reference before. I click on the summary here, and you can go here. And if you want to add a comment, you can say, um, we could also speak before or after class on Tuesday in person if that works for you. You can add that and put that right there. Okay, So the details, we have the description. That's the first thing that you posted. And then we're going to have a list of the conversations on it. Okay. And it looks like he keeps the most recent one on the top. Okay. So if we go back over here and click on requests, my request, okay, you can see it's still waiting for support. So even though it's waiting for support, and it's a good way for you to think about the process is, uh, if you're the customer, you want to look here is, are one of these waiting for you yet? Well, if you've got something to say, you can simply say it, okay? And it's going to, uh, if it's waiting for support, but you've got one or two or three things to say, well, when you're done saying those, it'll be still be waiting for support. Okay. But when I go to the ticket, I'll be able to see all those things that you added. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause us right here and I'm going to go respond to the two tickets. Okay. So here we go. And we're back. Okay. So let's go take a peek at what's going on in the inbox. Okay. Reload the site. Yeah, reload the site. Um, okay. So let's see what we've got here. So we have we have two notifications that have come from the server. Okay. And if we just look on this one about need to discuss my DRES accommodations, if we click through, um, you can see that the server was nice enough to show you my response. So you can figure that out from right here without even having to log in. Okay. Okay, because I said, hi, Jane, before or after class on Tuesday works fine. We can find a quarter of the classroom to talk privately. Okay. And it says I changed the status to waiting for customer. That's what happens when it toggles the status into waiting for customer. So what could we do? Well, we could click on thank you, sounds good, great. I don't have a lot of experience in using those. Okay. Um, but here's what we could do. Okay. The one that I have a lot of experience with is clicking on view request. Okay. And here's what it did. Because in this browser, I'm already logged in. Okay. Because we're logged in over here. Okay. Because we're already logged in. It took me right to that request. Okay. Uh, Alternatively, how could I have gotten there? Let's close that tab. Well, I could have gotten there by logging in and going to the portal and clicking on in the upper right on request, my requests. Okay. And then if I look at my list, okay, I see waiting for support on both of these. So I could say, oh yeah, it looks like I got a response on both. Let's find the DRES one. Well, here, we've got to the same place. We can get there two different ways, right? Okay. Um, that looks good. Okay, so what does Jane want to do here? Well, I think we're all set. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I really want to encourage you folks to resolve the issues yourselves. Um, so I'm going to, as Jane, I'm going to click on resolve the issue and I'm going to say, great. I will arrive at class early. See you then. Resolve the issue. Okay. So again, uh, where do we want to go? We're on a resolved issue. Okay, so if we go up to requests, you see if I've only got one in the list of requests. If I click up here for requests and go to my requests, well, then I've got uh, the one that I'm stuck on, chapter 3, assignment exercise 2, right? So we're waiting for customer. I'm going to click on one of these two links here. And let's see what the Kevin say back. Thanks for uploading the code. It looks like your problem is fairly easy to solve. You forgot to indent the code in the main function. Sort of a rookie problem for new Python programmers. Fix the indentation. It should run just fine. Okay. So again, I'm Jane. I make that change. It works just fine. Great. Resolve the issue. Uh, this worked great. Thanks again. Resolve the issue. Okay. If we look up at requests, we don't have a number here. My request. It's empty. Okay. So that's how we do that. Okay. And again, if we wanted to get back to the page where we could enter one, we would go to create a request. We'd make sure that we sorted these service desk portal pages ascending, and then we pick the A section, and that's right there. Okay, so there we are there. So let's catch up with our slides. Okay, so when we open a new ticket, again, this is kind of a cheat sheet or job aid for opening or creating a new ticket. When you need help with code, zip up your PyCharm project or whatever it is. If you're in a technical course where you've got something else, whatever you were going to hand in, zip up that and upload it to the ticket as an attachment, okay? This is going to help us to help you because we're going to try to recreate your problem. That's the fastest way for us to give you advice, okay? All right. So understanding the ticket workflow. Well, we kind of saw it there, but let's go through this. Dialogues in this system are between customer and support. As a student, you are customer. As an instructor, TA, or grader, we are support. When you enter a new ticket, the status becomes waiting for support. When we reply, the status becomes waiting for customer. This continues like a ping pong game until one of us closes the ticket by marking it as resolved. Okay? And remember, you can both respond and mark it resolved at the same time. Okay? We're reluctant to resolve them early because um, we don't want to close the conversation where you might say, well, that worked, but I found another problem, right? So it works best when you take control of resolving the tickets. All right. Responding to a post on your ticket. Now, we just did that a couple times. When someone posts to your ticket, you'll receive an email from the Jira server. Okay, again, it's a little bit lagged. Okay, so if we just go back to, if we just come back here and click on inbox, and let's refresh it. And this might not be the way that you really do it if you use this all the time. Okay, okay, it takes a while for things to show up here. Okay, so don't, if you're not sure that you've got if you don't see anything arriving in your inbox, that shouldn't keep you from going to the portal for the service desk and seeing if you've already had a reply. Okay. Uh, the email part of this is kind of slow. Um, Click the link in the email and log in when prompted. If you're already logged in, you won't even be prompted. The ticket will open ready for your interaction. Use the comment box to post a comment, okay? Or upload a file, okay? Or resolve the issue. And you can resolve and comment both at the same time. Or you could cancel the request. Um, maybe you already figured it out, okay? And in which case, maybe the best way to do that would be to resolve it and say you already figured it out. Do not click on escalate, okay? There is a feature in the system called escalate that, number one, doesn't do anything to make your ticket more visible to us. And two, we can never resolve the ticket. So it just stays there and haunts us until we delete it. And then, of course, we lose the record that you ever had it. So this feature is crap. That's all I can say. So you might think, oh, I haven't heard for a while. I'm going to escalate this. Please don't. It's a crummy feature and it doesn't help. Could you post again on your ticket and say, I'm getting anxious? Sure, you can. Okay, that's a way to let us know that you're getting anxious. Uh, don't click on escalate because it's just a mess. All right. So working in the Service Desk portal, we showed some working there. So navigate to the portal by using one of the links provided. We've done that a couple times. Log on with your username and your password. Remember that your username should be your full university email address. I have people who said that they can't log in because they forgot we're using the full email address and they're only using their uh, login ID and not the full address. Um, to see your tickets, click the requests link in the upper right. We did that a couple times. Choose my requests. To choose a ticket, click on the reference or the summary column. Click on your ticket. There are two columns where the text is a link. Click in one of them, it'll open up the ticket. Interact with your ticket appropriately. To enter a new ticket, click on create a request, but as you remember, that only gets you halfway there. You have to find your service desk project in the list and click through. All right. Okay. What if you lose your password? Okay. Uh, it happens. Okay. It happens to me too. Um, so let's get back to the portal here. Okay. Get out of the email and get back to the portal. Okay. And let's log out. Up in the upper right, you click on the avatar logout. Okay. And so now let's say I come in and I go through um, all these combinations of username and password. And I go, oh gosh, I have forgotten it. Okay. Well, click on forgot your password. Username. Remember that your username should be your entire university password. I'm sorry, your entire university email account. Okay, now I'm going to type in a Gmail account ID because I don't have a free email account at the university to use. Okay, so don't do as I do, do as I say. So I'm going to put in the full email address, and I'm going to click on email me, and it told me it sent me a link. All right, so let's go back here to my email account, and again, you probably know more how to refresh this than I do. Click on the refresh button. And as you can see, it hasn't shown up yet. Okay, so you're going to have a little patience here. So I'll refresh it again. It's still not here. Okay, so I'm going to pause and we're going to wait for it to show up. It might take a little bit. Here's the pause. Okay, I'm back now. In this case, it took about 2 minutes. Okay, from when I was paused for about a minute and a half. Okay, so let's click on reset your password. Okay, and here's a link. It remembers my name, reset my password. Okay, and I'm going to go over to my password manager, and what am I going to do? I'm going to edit that entry and recreate the password. Create a new password. Okay, that's that. Save it. Now I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to put it over here, choice. So here's my new password. Here's the confirmation. I've saved it in my password manager, and I create. And I'm right back in. All right. All right, so that's what you can do. Again, it took me just a couple of minutes to get the email. Could it take you 5? Could it take you 10? Could it take you 15? Yeah. Should it take longer than a half hour? No, I don't think so. Okay. So at a certain point, I think you have to say that things are not going well, but have a little bit of patience at least. Okay, so let's go back and look at the slides. So what did we do? We clicked on forgot your password. We clicked on email me. We put in our full email address from our university email. We opened the email and we clicked reset my password. We gave it a new password and a confirm. We click create, and it logged us in. Okay, and then of course we can go to requests and my requests. So if we wanted to create a ticket, we would pick a category and enter a ticket. Otherwise, we could go up and look at our request, or we could come back there. Okay. Now, what if things go completely haywire? Okay. Now, the first thing I say is go to the service desk introduction page. Okay. So maybe you forgot how to use this. All right. That's possible. Go and look at stuff there. Okay. Uh, Maybe you've got the wrong link. Okay. The up-to-date links are going to be at the bottom of this page. Maybe you have a problem receiving emails. Okay. Sometimes we have problems receiving emails because the email's on one of those lists. Okay, so I do have a page for email related problems, and you can just click the link to go there. Okay, so it says make sure that you're looking from the email from this iCourse Jira email server. That's what they look like. Let's look at this. So this one is from iCourse Jira. Okay, so that's what you're looking for, is those. Make sure that it's not caught in your junk filter. Make sure that it's not caught in your clutter filter. Okay. Now, If you're having problems, okay, the best place to get help from me is just the next time we're in class or we're having a lab, just come and we'll fix it. Even if things are completely broken, I can reset your account, give you a new password. I can fix almost anything if we're working online at the same time. Okay. If you're stuck and you have some kind of big assignment that's due and you can't communicate with us and you consider it a true emergency, uh, using either text or voice, you can try to connect with my mobile phone, and here is the number. Okay. So I essentially just say the same things exactly on the slide. Okay. So um, this is the kind of thing that you don't use it every day, you forget how to use it. Okay. So this thing that we do where I asked you to make a greetings post at the beginning, it's always best to get experience in getting help before you really need it. And that's what we're practicing there. In a second, I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, the other thing is that you're going to forget. You're going to forget your user ID. You're going to forget your password. Uh, Maybe the server is going to get stuck. Any kind of things could happen. The server has only gotten stuck one or two times in the past 5 years, so that doesn't happen that often. But we'll work it out. Okay, so uh, the more you're used to using this, as a matter of course, the less panic you're going to be when you're having a problem using it. And of course, if you've totally melted down and you have a true emergency, well, then you have my number. Okay. Now, I mentioned I want you to make a greetings post as one of the first things that you do for the course. And especially if you've been following along, like trying to get your ID and all this kind of stuff, well, just right now, make a greetings post. Don't wait. Okay. So, what kind of choices are we going to make? It's just opening a ticket, right? Okay, so for the request type, that's the category, choose other issue. Does it have to be other issue? What if you accidentally put it in another category? Don't worry about it. You'll get credit anyway. For the summary, for the title, what are you going to call it? Call it greetings. What if you call it greetings post? Will you get credit? Yes, you will. Don't worry about it. For the description, that's where your message is. You don't have to say anything elaborate. You don't have to introduce yourself. We're going to do that in class. You can just say, this is my greetings post. You can say, hi, mom. Okay? You're going to get credit. Okay? Don't upload an attachment. We're not going to want to open it. Okay? Click create to create the ticket. Use the ticket to practice interacting with us. You can go back and forth a couple times. I mean, you could post something that says, I just want to check what it's like to go back and forth. Fine, just do that. We'll go back and forth with you. And then when you're done interacting, just please close the ticket by marking it resolved. All right. So how are we going to do that? Let's go do that instead of talk about doing it. Okay. So Jane Scholar. Okay. Where am I? I'm here somewhere. Okay. So let's say I'm really logged in while I refresh. Okay. I refreshed. I'm really logged in. Okay. So what did I say? I said, well, pick other issue. Okay. And let's say, what do I want to say? Brother Summary, greetings. Again, if you're off by a letter or have an extra word, if we understand it to be a greetings post, we're going to give you credit. Okay. And then say something. This is a greetings post. That's all you have to say. Okay. Do you want to attach a file? No, you don't, because we don't want to open it. What do you do now? You just click create. You've done it. Okay. Now, notice the status has gone to waiting for support. And you don't have to do anything with it. You're going to wait to hear back from us. Remember how we talked about escalate and how we don't want you to use that link? Here's the link I don't want you to use because it is a thorny mess. Okay. Okay, but once you create a new ticket, if you want to see it in your queue, just go to the upper right hand corner and go to requests. My requests, there it is. If you want to click on it, there you can see it. Okay. Let's say it's been sitting there a week. Sometimes we will take a greetings post and we'll leave it on the queue until we mark it down and give you credit for having made it. So maybe you're getting nervous. Uh, you could come back and say, I'm getting nervous. Uh, this is still sitting in my queue, Q-U-E-U-E. Okay. All right. Add. Okay. Now, when we give you credit, we'll clear it. We'll mark it resolved. Okay. And that's it. If we go back to the upper right, we go to requests, my requests. There it is. All right. And it's waiting for support. Okay. Now, how do you log out? To tell you the truth, I don't log out often because if I want to go back in during the day, sometimes it will keep me from having to log in again. So is that good security? Maybe not great security. But if you want to log out, like if you're on a public machine instead of your laptop, well, then you can go up to the upper right, click on your avatar, and pick logout. And then you're logged out for sure. Okay, and making your greetings post, and that is it. Okay, so it's a bit of extra work, but it's a great way to get help, and it's a really workable way for us to help you. And with just a little bit of effort and some practicing and getting set up ahead of time by doing the greetings post and all that, uh, you're going to have it when you need it. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to say bye until next time. Bye bye.